So, how do I feel about sexuality? This is what this video is going to be about because I don't know. I just felt like talking about it. I was watching this YouTube video right now, this one right here, and the title was Navigating Bisexual Relationships. And I never talk about people's sexuality or my own sexuality, but I would love to talk about it. I said I'll do a video about it. So my entire life I've been a straight woman. I've always dated men, and in my household we have only straight people in my family. Now, out of everyone in my family, my dad and I know we have one person in our family that is possibly not straight, and one other person maybe on the other side of the family that's not straight. But primarily, mainly, everyone's been straight in my family, and so being that I was raised around that environment, I was straight, and I am straight. I've always been straight, right? So how I feel about people being bisexual or being gay or being lesbian or being whatever they call it, I'll talk about my own experience when I was in high school. Actually, let me start here. When I was in preschool, there was an experience where I met a young girl who was kind of experimenting in preschool, like at a young age. I think she was like curious. Yeah, yep. And growing up, it's so funny. Growing up, she ended up going to my same high school and she became bi-curious. But I never judged her, and it was because we knew each other in preschool. When you're in preschool, you're innocent. Like, you don't know anything about sexuality. You just know from your parents what you see. So I never judged her, but she ended up being like bisexual, and I wasn't. I was straight. I had a boyfriend. I only messed with guys. I started getting attention from guys when I was getting out of elementary, going into middle school. So I started talking to guys like for real in middle school. Like, guys started writing letters to me, like that's when it all started. But long story short, when I got to high school, I had a group of friends and we all were straight for the most part until one of my close friends decided to become bisexual, and she went that way and I didn't. And I never judged her. I just was like, hey, that's how she wants to live her life, and that's always been my stance on sexuality, is like, people who choose their own sexuality have a right to choose their own sexuality. I mean, it has nothing to do with my opinion or what I think about what they're doing behind closed doors or how they want to live their life sexually. Like, that's up to them, and I don't judge. Like, I'm just like, hey, free will, like however they want to live their life, but I just know for sure, for me, I love men a lot. Like I'm with one guy only, my main guy. I don't, it's interesting. When I met him, he kind of disclosed to me how he does not really care for gay men. Like, he doesn't care for, I think he's kind of like, like anti-gay. But I used to be a part of a nonprofit group, and the nonprofit is open to any sexuality, but there was mainly gay men at this nonprofit, and I would work out around them a lot, and I never judged them. I just seen them as like who they were, but primarily they were gay. And they used to ask me like to come to eat with them. Like, I ate with them, I talked to them, and I don't really have a judgment on people's sexuality and what they do behind closed doors and who they want to date. It's not really something I have ever stuck my nose in, or, you know, like, it's just, that's just not my lane, you know, like, but yeah, my life has been pretty straightforward, you know, and for the most part, has females possibly liked me? Possibly. No one has really come to me and told me they liked me in that way. Um what was I gonna say? I was gonna bring up something else too. Yeah, but for the most part, like, I stick to guys. You know, like, that's just what I do, and that's just what I believe in. Um, but yeah, like, I'm around people who are not straight. Like, even at my job, there's people that are not straight, and I just look, you know, I look at them, you know, as regular people, you know, like, I don't think about, and it's crazy because there is like a aura around those people, and it's just like their sexuality is put on display, like, as the first thing you see when you see somebody like a dyke, or you see somebody like a tomboy. Like, it's like the first thing you think about is like, are they gay? Like, and I try not to. I really try not to. I just try to see that person as a person. Like, what they choose to do, what they chose to be, is up to them. Like, I've talked to not straight women, and I've talked to them like a sister, like they're one of my sisters, or just a person, you know, and they're cool. They might say some, you know, some weird shit, and I catch it, and I be like, you know, but I'm not that way. But, you know, I don't take it like personal. That's just how they are. Like, you know, they might say hello or hi. Okay, you know, because I have sisters, so it's like, me being friendly with even straight women, like, I'm a friendly woman to other women because I have sisters, you know. So I grew up with women. I grew up with a mom, you know, like, so I grew up with aunts and aunties and nieces. So it's like, I'm very friendly with my own, you know, sex, you know, but it's never nothing on like anything sexual, like, you know. So a lot of the women I know have men, and that's just the way it goes. But whatever people do behind closed doors is really up to them. Like, I don't be trying to pry in other people's privacy. Like, be you. Now, when I do see Pride go on, because in my city they be having Pride Month, and they be having Pride events, and there's like Pride around town and stuff like that. How do I feel about that? I mean, it is what it is, you know. I see it, it's there to stay, and I don't feel any way about it. I've literally worked with people who are gay, you know, bisexual. I've, you know, serviced them, you know, talked to them, had conversations with them. I just treat them like regular people. I never bring up the obvious, that, you know, their mannerisms are a little sassy, or a little feminine, or whatever, or a little dykish or tomboyish, whatever. I don't even think like that, you know? Even my preschool friend that ended up being bisexual later, like, she gave me like a birthday present in high school. She was so nice. And, you know, I just see them as like regular people. Like, I have brothers and sisters, so it's like, how I primarily look at people is like my brother or like my sister, you know, like, oh, bro and sis, like, you know, or cousin. Or I look at a lot of people like family, like, honestly. um but yeah, my guy, how I look at my guy, he's like very strong type of guy. Like, really loves women, really attracted to women, like, expresses how he likes women, you know, expresses how he likes me. And um there's no question or doubt about his sexuality, but I could say that, yeah, he's like a masculine man. And I'm a very feminine woman. Like, I'm very girly girl, like, soft and fertile and very fragile. And every time I try to play like I'm rough and tough, it's like that's not really me. But that's my protection, you know? But long story short, yeah, I don't have a problem with like even watching content of gay or lesbian or bisexual people, as long as it's not like inappropriate, like downright inappropriate. I don't have a problem with it, you know, because sometimes it do be inappropriate. They were trying to, you know, throw that stuff into like, you know, but I'll say this to say this. I always knew that in able to conceive a child, a man and a woman has to procreate together. And that's the only way to naturally give birth, right? So all the other ways they came up with to give birth without a man and a woman being together, like a woman and a woman or a man and a man, it's just like beyond me. Like I don't even try to figure it out. I just try to go for what's natural and like what makes sense, you know? So, but yeah, like sexuality is something beyond me, and I don't try to control other people, you know, what other people think, what other people want to do. As long as it's not affecting me, I'm fine, you know. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that topic. Now, I hope this gave y'all some insight, some entertainment, some guidance, and yeah. See you later, alligators. Bye.